I used to go around LA to the fanciest restaurants.
Yeah,
and my brother and I, we would sit at the bar and we order water on the rocks with a lime. Because people thought we were ordering alcohol. We couldn't afford the alcohol. But what we were doing was sitting at a bar next to other wealthy people at the fancy restaurant. And all we did was talk the entire dinner to everyone. You got to get in front of these people. I don't care what you got to do, but you got to eat. Go get it. And don't take no for an excuse. That's it.
Hey. Thanks for being in the REC Experience LA edition.
Ooh.
Why is it the LA edition?
I gotta say, I'm on cloud 9 right now. I'm so excited. We just finished wrapping season 3, episode 15.
Yeah.
Where REC goes to Beverly Hills.
Skype edition.
Right?
Because we had Bravo's $1 Million Listing LA superstar, Josh Altman. Who rocked this episode.
It was awesome. And I got to admit, I've been a fan of $1 Million Listing long before I was a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Long before I even thought about becoming a real estate agent.
You told me once it actually, that's why you got into real estate.
I'm sure that's a reason why a lot of people say they get into certain things is they watch TV shows and it looks super glamorous. But yeah, kind of a little bit.
So I know you started watching the show even when Josh wasn't on it.
Yes, correct. Okay. I started it from season 1.
And I have to say I started probably when he got on the show.
He made the show better, I'm not going to lie.
He definitely, his energy just didn't. You're going to see it in this episode.
Well, and there was something that's so authentic about him. We were mentioning when we were just wrapped up shooting that you can tell he really is just a born and raised salesperson. He's from small town, not raised in the luxury market. It's not like he's a wannabe actor, found himself in LA. No, he just wanted to be a real estate agent.
And he's taken it he's taken himself, his brother, his team right to the top. One of
the top in the country, but in
definitely
LA.
Top 2 or top 3 in LA.
Yeah.
And just is coming off the heels of launching his new book, The Altman Close. As I say it in the episode, but I will say it in the intro, for the first 24 viewers on our YouTube channel that leave a comment, good or bad, you're going to get
preferably good.
Yeah, you're going to get a copy sent out to you. I have 25 copies, but one we're going to keep here, obviously,
we'll definitely
on the wall.
Keep here, yeah.
I'm hoping, I didn't get a chance to ask him, but I'm going to shoot him an email and ask him if he's going to be doing an audio version, because as a lot of the viewers and the listeners know, not only because we have our own podcast, but I just know a lot of people listen while they're driving in to and from work.
Yeah, so let's hope. But regardless.
You got to meet him before.
Okay, so I feel like my life has now come full circle. Everything that I ever thought it would be has now happened.
Okay, elaborate.
So about 5 years ago, for 2015, my husband and I take our first trip to LA. We literally get off the plane, check into our hotel, and just wander the streets. Let's see what this is all about. Rodeo Drive, we're looking at all the fancy stuff, all the cars that we can't afford. And we just happened to pass by the brokerage, Douglas Elliman, where we know Josh Altman works out of. And
did you know he worked out of that brokerage at that time?
Yeah, because I had already been seeing the show for years and years already. So my husband said, that must be where they work. I'm like, oh my God, I wonder if they're in there right now.
What's the chances of that happening, right? Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. So we're like, it would be cool. Should we just walk in? Obviously not. So we're sitting there thinking, okay, well, let's move on. And then all of a sudden, across the way, we think, oh my God, I think that is Josh Altman's brother. I'm like, oh, of course it's the brother, which he's on the show too.
Matt's an awesome guy too.
That was pretty exciting. Yeah, so we're like paparazzi. I'm like, take a little photo of him. And then I'm like, okay, that's cool. Let's not be losers and mosey along.
Sure.
Anyway, so we're just walking now past the brokerage, keeping our head down. We pass the brother. All of a sudden, Josh Altman comes out of the brokerage. Right, I think there were stairs, right down the stairs, right into us. And then my husband just said, hey, man, how's it going? And I'm sure I went beet red. I was so embarrassed. But we got to talking. We were talking about real estate because I was already in real estate at the time. We talked about me doing real estate in Toronto. His brother came by, and then he was cool because he's like, hey, do you want a picture with him? Because I would have never asked.
Sure.
So I did. I got a picture with Josh Altman.
Well, in case our viewers don't believe you, our beautiful Clem is gonna. I know he'll bring this into post production, and so we can actually see this picture to see if this really
the story
happened.
Unfolds. Yes.
So to our viewers, thank you for your support To our listeners, thank you for your support. As always, give us your feedback, okay, on this episode. And as mentioned, first 24 viewers that leave a comment on our YouTube page, we'll make sure we send out a copy of the Altman Close. This episode is a must watch and listen for anybody who's in the real estate business, entrepreneurs, salespeople, or just buyers, sellers, or investors, because there's a lot of goods in here. All right, guys, take care. Elto, as always, thanks.
You're welcome. Enjoy this one.
Bye, guys.
REC Experience presents Real Estate, Entrepreneurship, Leadership with your host, Jazz Takhar. The REC Experience podcast is now on air.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, thanks again, Josh Altman, star of Bravo's $1 Million Listing LA. Thanks for doing this with us, man.
Happy to be here. And you caught me right in between two listing appointments. So I got a small window to run comps. Otherwise, I'm going to show up blind to this listing appointment, but I'm pretty good on my toes. So we'll see.
I know you are. I want to first off, I wanted to congratulate you on your baby, the upcoming, and your daughter, beautiful wife. How is the family doing?
Amazing. I was just actually right as we were signing on for your podcast right here. Lexi, my daughter, who's 2 now, was sitting on my desk, making a complete mess of my desk. And everyone knows I'm a perfectionist, so it drives me crazy, but she's the only lady in my life that I'll allow to do that.
I love that. We're going to talk about the book, The Altman Close. I want all my listeners and my viewers to obviously get copies. I want to know more about the book. Couple of things first. I need to ask you, man, you were watching the Patriots and the Rams. I know you live in LA. You're a Patriots fan. What was this? Was this a heart and head thing? What happened there?
Yeah, so you know what? I get a lot of grief from that online. People are like bandwagon this or that. Look, the facts of this. I grew up in Boston. I'm a diehard Patriots fan. I will never not be a diehard Patriots fan. I'm friends with a lot of guys on the team, a lot of clients. Sean McVay is one of my best friends in the world. He also happens to be the head coach, and he's a genius. And of course, I now live in LA, so I support all the local teams. So I said early on to my wife, I said, I know what's going to happen. I said, it's going to be that situation where the two of them are going to win, and then I'm going to be screwed because I don't know what I'm going to do. And if you noticed, during the Super Bowl, I didn't post who I was rooting for. I didn't know. I did that for a reason because, you know, as a realtor and as an entrepreneur, whatever it is, you got to be politically correct in your business. And I'm not losing any sales because of a Super Bowl. I'll tell you that.
So, Josh, talk to us about how did the whole show stuff start? How did you get on the show, man? How did that all come about?
So it was interesting. It was season 3 was about to start on the show. I had just sold some crazy listings that I was in the newspaper for. I think one of them was the most expensive condo ever sold in Santa Monica for $12 million at the time. And then I did like this crazy lease for this king of Saudi or some Middle Eastern country that, you know, did like $300,000 a month lease for 4 years. It was just real crazy stuff. And I get a call from $1 Million Listing. Now, I had heard of the show, but I hadn't watched it before.
Okay.
You know, it's funny because right when they called me, I immediately called my mother and I said, Ma, I just got offered the show.
Yeah.
And little did I know, when I went to go meet him, there was also like 150 other realtors in the waiting room.
Okay.
You know, I immediately texted my mom, no show, never mind. And that was it. And like 9 interviews later, after a multi-month interview process, they offered me the gig. And I got to tell you, I wasn't sure if I was going to do it when they offered it to me because I'm not an actor. I am who I am. And people don't know this about me before. But when I came out to LA 20 years ago, I started in the mailroom. I was broke. I came up flipping houses on the side. I became a millionaire when I was 26. And then when the economy collapsed, I lost everything. And
right.
So like 26 and a half, I'm broke. And then here I am starting to become successful again. They offer me the show. And the last thing I want to do is expose myself because I've already been to the top and the bottom. And I never want that to happen again. And at the end of the day, the decision that pushed me over to go ahead with the show was the fact that in real estate, the single most important thing in business is to let everyone in the world know what you do for a living.
Okay.
And what better way than to be on a show that plays to multi-million viewers an episode, 70 countries or so around the world. And that's why I did it. And here we are. We just wrapped season 12. We're looking towards season 13 coming soon. And of course, it's been a blessing for the business. Bravo has been an amazing part of my success, and I thank them and World of Wonder, our production company. And yeah, it's been an amazing experience.
Now, Josh, at that age of 26, when, shit got, obviously, it went away that you never thought it was going to go. What did you do to get yourself back up again, right? Because there's a lot of listeners and viewers that go through a lot of stuff and a lot of them quit.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's people see me on the show and they go, that guy's got it easy. He sells mansions for a living. He probably had connections in LA or this or that. None of it. And, we had flipped many, many houses to get to the point where we were. And I ran a pretty big mortgage company, which I started from scratch at that time. And, when that hit me, when that economy collapsed and I lost everything, first of all, it happened very quick. It was overnight. It was like the faucet just stopped as far as the money coming in. It affected me in a huge way. People don't know this, when they watch the show. I got depressed. It was difficult for me to get out of bed in the morning. Everything, I actually was in denial for a long time. I lied to my friends because I was embarrassed about not being successful. And it was a tough time for me, about 8 months of darkness for me. At that point, I was lucky enough to have my brother, who was also right next to me, kind of working through it. And we tried to continually motivate each other. And I got to tell you, it wasn't like we just snapped out of it. We borrowed money. We started to do other businesses. We failed at those businesses. I mean, it was like a period where we couldn't win no matter what we did. And then eventually what we did was we followed our heart. So I had flipped houses and I had financed houses. I loved, every weekend when I had no money, I would drive around and look at open houses because that was exciting to me. And we looked at each other, my brother and I said, why don't we just sell houses? Because we have the background with houses. We love people. Let's do that. And let's see what happens. And because of the love for it, we became successful because we were working nonstop. But for us, it wasn't work.
Right.
Like we weren't rushing to get out of the office. We were doing something we loved. And that in turn made us experts at what we do. We became the best at what we did. And of course, success came along with it. But let me tell you something. I didn't sell a house for the first 6 months. I failed my real estate exam twice.
You're like me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People are like,
Yeah, they're bad.
the easiest test in the world. I couldn't pass it no matter what.
Yeah.
I spent more money on crash courses than most people spend in their career.
Yeah.
So, I finally, so all these things, it was a learning process, a lot of ups and downs. Finally sold that first house. I needed that money like I needed air at the time. And then finally sold another. And then the next year it was 12 million. The next year it was 30. Then it was 80. Then it was 150. And now we're selling about 500 million a year. But it was a process. It did not happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight. You got to work if you want to be successful.
Look, I just saw something that you posted on Instagram. And to my viewers and my listeners, if you haven't checked Josh's vlog out, as well his podcast out, you guys are missing out on a huge amount of awesome, positive content. Again, congrats on the new podcast and the vlog, buddy. Talk to us a little bit about, there's a realtor right now that's listening who's just getting started or been doing it for a couple of years. How do they get into that luxury market that you've attacked and obviously like kicking ass in?
Well, I get that question a lot. So by the way, just for everybody who's listening who might say, oh, well, he lives in Beverly Hills. Every house is 15 million. I can't do that. Look, luxury markets are luxury no matter where you are. You can be in Cincinnati, Ohio, and luxury can be 400,000, or you can be somewhere else in Arkansas and it can be 300. It doesn't matter. Luxury is luxury. So let's talk about how you break into a market like that. For me, you have to be able to rub shoulders with the type of clientele that you want to sell to. So you have to put yourself in situations and you're going with those type of buyers and sellers. So wherever you are in the world, you have to figure out where those buyers are going to be. Look, if you work, you want to sell houses in Gulf communities around you, well, you better, somehow get into a golf club and get in front of the people who are playing golf every day.
I tell people, and not to cut you off, Josh, I tell people, like, exactly in that example, if you're if you want to get into doing business with golfers, like, just start at the putting rate, at the driving range, or just start mini putting, right?
I'm not saying you got to go spend money. I used to go around LA to the fanciest restaurants.
Yeah,
and my brother and I, we would sit at the bar and we order water on the rocks with a lime, because people thought we were ordering alcohol. We couldn't afford the alcohol. But what we were doing was sitting at a bar next to other wealthy people at the fancy restaurant. And all we did was talk the entire dinner to everyone. You got to get in front of these people. I don't care what you got to do, but you got to eat, go get it, and don't take no for an excuse. That's it.
Okay, I want to be really respectful of your time. I know I got only about another 4 or 5 minutes. I want to talk to you about some work-life balance. I can tell where your beautiful daughter, Lexi, gets her looks from. It's obviously your wife. You're a good-looking guy, but your wife, Heather, is obviously, for everyone who watches the show, they know. Talk to me about the work-life balance, man. How's that? And especially with Lexi now and the second one coming, how do you balance everything, man?
Listen, that is definitely something I have not mastered. Okay. I'm not going to pretend I have. It's an everyday struggle, but I will tell you, Lexi, my daughter, is my favorite thing in the world. And if I have finally learned how to actually turn off my phone when I'm with her for the little time that I get to spend each day, because that's my time with her. And I also have realized that since having a kid, my clients, who I never thought would respect my space when I am with my daughter. And in fact, they almost respect me more when I tell them, hey, listen, I'm with my daughter right now. I'm going to call you back. And when you put those boundaries out there, you'd be surprised. People actually, they follow that. The other thing you can do is just marry somebody in your line of business like I did. And then there's really no work balance. It's just all work.
It just all works out. One tip for entrepreneurs or guys getting into real estate, man, what would you say it is, Josh?
Well, look, it's funny. I was on stage yesterday. I did 2 speaking engagements with Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. And he's a good
Toronto boy, Canadian boy.
Yeah. And we always talk. And I love to surround myself with mentors and successful people. And Kevin is a perfect example of that. When I'm sitting with him, I'm picking his brain constantly. I never think I put my ego aside and never think I'm too good to ask questions. You have to surround yourself with mentors who are positive, who are going to be on your side, not against you. There are too many haters out there in the world. Screw the haters, all right? That's just noise. I mean, if I went on my Instagram every day and read the messages of people talking smack, who needs that? No one has time for that. So surround yourself with successful people and use those connections. Use your friends as connections. In my business, everybody knows somebody who wants to sell a house. Okay. I don't care what you do for a living. I can guarantee you right now, we're talking to you. You know somebody who wants to buy and sell a house. So don't be afraid to ask for those introductions. Okay. These people are your friends. That's okay. That's what friends are for. And I will also tell you this, because I am sick and tired of the emails that I get, and I get 1,000 a week of people in college, and they say, hey, I want to be rich like you. Can I work for you? And I'm like, really? That's what you're sending me? Your one chance to get to me? That's what you're sending me? The next generation, in my opinion right now, is weak. They're not hardworking. So you got to work at it. If you want to be successful, you got to go after it. Don't wait for it to fall on your lap. Okay. No one's going to be taking care of you. You got to go out and take care of yourself. And some of the best lessons I've ever learned in my life, in the multi, 20 or so businesses that I've run, that half of them I failed. That's okay.
Yeah.
The failing experiences have been the best learning experiences that I have ever gotten out of any business. So that's my advice to any entrepreneurs out there, anybody who's trying to make it. Look, I worked for free as an intern when I was in college on the weekends. Yeah, of course, I like to party and have fun with my friends, but I also was setting myself up, because once you get out of college, you're on your own and it's going to hit you real quick.
Buddy, I asked you for one tip. You gave me 5. I appreciate the extra value. What can readers expect with the Altman Close, my man?
So the Altman Close, the new book out now. out this week. Go get it. Listen, this book, if you want to be successful, go buy this book, all right? If you want to be a closer, you want to negotiate everybody out of the room, go buy this book. This book is not just for real estate. It's for negotiating in life as well, okay? If you're in real estate, great. Realtor, buyer, seller, investor, entrepreneur, learn how to negotiate because you're going to negotiate through all your entire life. You're going to negotiate 30 times a day. You're going to negotiate when you're sitting with your friend, what type of sandwich and food you should order.
Your daughter negotiates with you 10 times a day already.
Yeah, but that's the one that I lose every single time. That is the only negotiation that Josh Altman ever loses is to his daughter. Go out and buy the book. You'll love it.
I have 25 copies to my listeners and viewers. Obviously, I'm only going to be able to give away 24 because I need the 25th for myself. Sure. And I'm going to go through that. So for the first 25 viewers on our YouTube channel who leave a comment, I'm going to send out a copy of the book. Josh, thank you so much, brother.
Absolutely, man. Best of luck with everything. Good luck with the show. Good luck with business. The Josh Altman on Instagram, YouTube. Check out the channel. Dial dollars, no cents on the podcast. And if you ever want to buy a house, you know who to hit up.
Thanks so much, buddy. Love you, buddy. Take care. Take care. Bye.
This has been the REC Experience Podcast with Jazz Takhar, an REC Canada production.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the REC Experience. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and share. Click here to watch and experience more videos from REC.